Good afternoon, brothers and sisters. How are you all today? You're welcome. Okay, so let's get on with our weekly ritual. Anyone on my left who is new with us? That's Stephen, and that's... Okay, on my left are all the... We have a shift, used to have all the newcomers sitting on the left. Nowadays the newcomers sit on the right. Yes. Tell us this group. And who is your friend? Roslyn is your friend. Welcome, welcome. And where are you from?
I'm from China.
Which part of China?
The central part.
Central part. Which part of central? Which street? I'm just kidding. Henan. 中不中? Is it? 2 years back when we went to China on the Silk Road trip, so when we reached Henan, then the guide told us, in Henan, 要讲这句话，中不中? Is it true?
Yeah.
It's true, so I didn't recall wrongly. Yeah, Henan. And in Singapore you say Henan, in Henan it's called Henan. Right, there's a bit of the Henan. Same, Welcome, welcome. Okay, who else? Are you all new?
My name is KK.
Huh?
KK.
KK?
I'm from Myanmar.
Myanmar? Wow, well.
My friend Rosalind invited me to come over here.
I see. Would you like to sit closer to Rosalind? Is that okay? So, you're from Myanmar, and who is the boy with you?
It's my son.
This is your son? Hello. Tell us your name.
What's your name?
That's quite... Oh, Alex?
Yeah.
And? What's the...
Nyan is Myanmar name.
Myanmar name?
Yeah. Most of the people call
Alex.
Alex.
I see. How old are you, Alex? 5 years old. Oh, big boy already. Where do you work? You work at school. What position do you work in the school? What do you work in the school?
Just study.
Just study. Very good. Give him a round of applause. What about the lady next to you?
It's my cousin.
Your cousin?
Yeah.
Does she speak English?
Cannot.
No. Can you tell her when she sit in meditation, don't push up her shoulders. Relax her shoulders. Tell her. Don't. Relax. You also say relax. So you understand relax?
Yeah, understand a bit.
You understand. So when you sit, okay, look at me. Relax yourself. Don't like that. Relax. Is that your relaxed state? Okay. Follow me. Raise your shoulders. Raise up. Drop it down. Yes. See? That's a difference. You don't have to straighten your hands. Relax your hands. Okay? Relax. Okay. All right. Is there anyone else who is here for the first time? Anyone else? No, Okay, good. All right, so welcome to SGC. Yes, and especially to our a few new friends today from China and Myanmar. So today's topic on the group chat. Where's Ivy? Where's Ivy? Was it Ivy who said it's very chim? Who was it who said very chim?
He says it's relevant to life.
Oh, then somebody else said it's very chim. Someone said it's very chim. Sometimes I find that Buddhists are very, very strange people, you know. Everything is so cheap. Yeah. What is so cheap about this? All these are English words. But there's a reason why I call this topic. Yes, later you have your turn, okay. There's a reason why I call it 401. Yeah, so those who are used to the US style of academia, you will know that they have this common term 101. Yeah, so this usually means that if you have something 101, then it means that this is a beginner level. Yeah, but basically in the US academia there's usually like 4 levels. Level 100, 200, 300 and yes, 400. Very good. You're smarter than all of them. They all yeah lah. 100, 200, 300. Then of course 400 ma. Right? Yeah. So originally I had thought to put it as Buddhism 101. Yeah. Then I thought Buddhists you tell them you're covering 101 then 3/4 don't turn up. Yeah, why? 101 beginner Buddhism. Yeah, beginner stuff. It's too simple. I don't want to come. Yeah. So I thought, okay, then maybe we should make it more chim. Yeah, so I put 401. Level 100 is introduction. Level 200 is actually kind of like beginner. 200, 300 is advanced, intermediate, and 400 is kind of like advanced. Or sometimes they say 100 is beginner, introduction, 200 is intermediate, 300 is advanced, and 400 is expert. Yeah, so by coming for this session, you all consider yourself to be advanced expert. Yeah. You see, that is my co-teacher. Beginner class, no baby one. Advanced class, we have baby. Because you're advanced, you all can take all the you all can focus. So you all must show them how advanced you are. Okay. Just now when you were meditating, did you all hear the baby making baby sound? Did you all open up eyes and give them a dirty look? See, the baby is oblivious to how you feel. The baby is a very good representation of reality. Reality don't care how you feel. It will continue the way it is. Yeah, life is like that. Yeah, so babies are very good training of reality. Yeah, you can get upset, but the baby will continue to do what it's supposed to do. So, what is this advanced primer? Yeah, very simply put, the advanced primer that we are going to cover today is basically, in a way, some kind of introduction. Yeah, because it's 401. Yeah, the 1 there. But I thought perhaps maybe sometimes we may feel that the beginner stuff are actually very beginner, but I still call it advanced because I don't think it's actually very simple. Yeah, I don't think it's simple. I think there are so many layers that when I think about 30 years back in secondary schools, when we studied Buddhist study, the things that were taught then are fundamentally still the things that I'm teaching now. Yeah, but then the appreciation of the depth of all those topics has changed. Yeah, and so now I look at those topics and I realize that ambitious we were. Yeah, and the kind of predicament that those who were involved in coming up with the curriculum the kind of predicament they face. Because if they dumb it down too much, then they lose the content of what the Buddha discovered, which is the Dharma, the truth. But then if they were to give the students the full enchilada, then they will just drown. Yeah. So we'll see how today, okay? We'll see how today. First of all, what is Buddhism? What is Buddhism? Do you know what is Buddhism? Do you know what Buddhism is? all stuck already. What is Buddhism? Well, Buddhism is the religion that we call, that we describe. Usually we say that it's a religion. Can refer to the body of teachings also. Yeah. But most commonly we say that Buddhism is the religion that was founded by the Buddha. Yeah. Now the way I'm going to approach today's topic is, originally I had thought I want to ask your questions, but then I realized that people who come for talks don't like to be asked questions. Yeah. So today I'm going to just force feed you all with a lot of things. Okay. So if you're copying, we all get ready to copy a lot of things. So what is Buddhism? A body of teachings. Usually we say founded by Buddha. Who is the Buddha? The Buddha refers to the word Buddha. Very good point. A statue. Yeah. Thank you for participating in this talk. Yeah, I'm so happy. Like, you should have turned up 1 year ago. Yeah, I love it, man. What's your name again? Alex? Oh. Alex what?
Alex
Pongmie Yen Hai. What is the Pongmie Yen Hai? What does it mean? Pongmie is your full name. And Yen Hai? Your what? Your father's name. Oh, and what does Pongmie mean? Yes. Okay, we'll leave it at that. We'll come back to you in a while. Okay. So yeah, to some people, the Buddha is a statue. Yeah. And if you think about it, when you close your eyes and you think about Buddha, really just a statue appears, you know. Because how many of us have seen the Buddha? Show of hands? Yep, I thought so. No, none of us who is alive today have seen the Buddha. So for most people, when you think about Buddha, we really think about the statue, you know, to be very honest. Yeah. And that's why there are so many practices within Buddhism to decouple it from the statue. Yeah. To highlight what the statue actually stands for. Yeah. And for that matter, the statue itself is carved in a certain way with certain specification that is according to the teachings. It is supposed to embody the 32 marks of a great man with all the 80 minor features, so that it serves as a reminder of who the Buddha is. Not so much simply how he looked like. For that matter, if you look at all the Buddha statues in Myanmar, the face look Myanmese, and then in China, very rounded. Yeah, not necessarily look Chinese, but look like how Chinese like the Buddha to look like back in the days. Yeah, because if you look at the carving of the Buddha statue in the Tang Song period or pre-Tang Song period, during the earlier part Gandhara period, when statues first started moving into China, the look is quite different. I think 1 or 2 years back, there was an exhibition of some of those statues that were unearthed in China, and the carving, wow, it looks so different. Yeah, very unlike our current day idea of Chinese Buddha face. It looked so lifelike. It was on exhibition in Asian Civilization Museum, and for those who went, it was one of the most, if I can use the word, beautiful carving I've ever seen. Yeah, the face, the facial expression. You know, when you see the Buddha image, it looks like Buddha. Yeah, most of them give you the impression like it doesn't quite resemble a human. It has human features, but it has a Buddha face. But when you look at those carvings from that era, before it became like Buddha or Bodhisattva, it was very lifelike. Yeah. So lifelike, if you look at it close enough and long enough, you might even think that it's just a human being standing there. That's the impact of statues, you know. Yeah. But despite the changes and despite the variation, like in Thailand, it looks, you know, thinner and Thai. In some parts, other parts of the world, then it take on slightly different forms. Despite all that, most would agree that the statue gives us a sense of calm and peace. Yeah, which is what happened in the Buddha's time. When people met the Buddha, they all felt something different about him. Yeah.
The Buddha looks like a Guan Yin.
Huh?
The Buddha looks like a Guan Yin.
Which Buddha look like Guan Yin?
Inside the Buddha.
In the one inside. Oh. Ah. We can have a discussion on that. Yeah. But the thing that people describe about the Buddha, and for that matter, the word Buddha, it means an awakened one. I'll put down your comment here. Yeah. Usually we say Guan Yin Pusa. Don't say Guan Yin. Guan Yin not your friend. I mean, he's a friend to us, but, you know, yeah. Alex, do you recently like go to the playground with Guan Yin Pusa? No, right? So cannot just call him Guan Yin. Okay? Yeah. So founded by Buddha, but what did he actually found? When we say founded and found, it doesn't mean the 找到 it doesn't mean that he was lost and then he found it. It's something that he started. Yeah. But what exactly did he start? Yeah. What did he start? He started this thing that in those days is called Dharma Vinaya. In Pali, it will be Dhamma Vinaya.
Oh, Buddha is too big again.
What?
The Buddha is too big, I can carry with a giant truck.
Buddha is too big and then? And then what?
He can carry with a truck.
Carry the truck. Okay. And what about it?
No, because he saw at the Burmese Buddhist temple, Bayon temple, the statue.
Yes.
Bring from the Myanmar.
Yeah.
To carry with the truck.
He
One day the monk explained him about this.
Oh.
That's why he can remember the Buddha statue to bring with the truck.
Oh, okay. So he saw the Buddha being brought over from Myanmar in a truck.
Yeah, because of this the picture and voodoo.
Oh.
The history of that.
I see.
So sorry about that.
Oh.
Because he
Oh, no worries. Yeah, I'll just smack him. I'm just kidding. No, Jocelyn, your friend is not coming back next week. Don't worry, I'm just kidding. I usually cane. No. Okay, so any other things, Alex? Can I continue?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So, the Buddha founded something that he called Dharma Vinaya. Yeah. In a way, he didn't start a religion. Yeah. what he did was share what he discovered. And what did he discover? He discovered the Dharma. And then from the Dharma and the truth, then he shared certain patterns. In a way, Dhamma, Vinaya, these are all patterns. Now, if you were to look at the Pali Canon, you will see this term is not inside. Yeah, there's no such a term, pattern inside, okay? Yeah. This term, I like to use the word patterns or principles. It's something that he discovered, yeah, about this world. And he shared with first the 5 monks, yeah, what he observed, what he discovered. And he then also shared with them certain other principles that can help them to discover the same principle, the truth. Yeah? And that by practicing in this way, a person can go from unenlightened to become enlightened, unawakened to awakened. Yeah? He called these patterns that he observed the 4 noble truths. Yeah, and as I've mentioned before, the word noble, I would prefer to use enlightened. And the 4 noble truths are basically the truth of suffering, the truth of the cause of suffering. What am I writing? And the cessation of suffering, and the path leading to it, leading to the cessation. And in the past, I have drawn this. So we have S, we have C, we have this formula, K equals to CS. Oh, sorry. S equals to KC plus B. This is S, this is C, we have 0, and this is Buddha, the Arahants, the enlightened Bodhisattva, the Arahants. Okay? Everybody still with me? Anybody lost in the earlier part? Yeah. And then the vector, yeah, the arrow going towards this, going downwards, that is the path leading to cessation. Yeah. So this part here, okay, this part here is basically the third noble truth, and the third noble truth is none other than C equals to 0 and S equals to 0. Where if a person can practice to the point where craving come to an end, then suffering should cease. Suffering should cease. So I think we all have learned this many times. So have your suffering ceased? Are you all still suffering? What are you all suffering over right now? Chim overload. Yeah, I want to ask you all to do this simple experiment. At this very moment, are you all suffering? Oh, what are you suffering about? At this very moment? No, right? Anyone at this moment suffering? Like if now you're having high tide, you need to pee. But then because everybody is so attentive, like Sifu is so excited giving the teachings, and then you feel paiseh, you feel embarrassed to go to the toilet, then you stay. And as a result, then is that suffering? Yeah, that would be suffering, isn't it? Yeah. Do you need to go pee? No need. But if you need, but you don't go, then suffering. Yeah. But other than that, at this point, anyone suffering? No, right? So if there's no suffering at this point, then you should be happy, ma. You should, but this kind of happiness is a bit different from if you, if let's say you go and buy something. At this point, do you buy something? Do you get something that you buy? No. But so this kind of happiness is a bit different from if you go and buy something.
And mommy just buy food.
A bit different. You want to buy something or not? Like if Alex want to speak, then the mother don't let him speak, then maybe there's a bit of suffering. Yeah. And then at the same time, don't think that only Alex is suffering. Every time Alex suddenly just speak, then the mommy also suffering. Because maybe the mommy a bit paiseh. But it's okay, don't be paiseh. Yeah. Don't have to be paiseh. Yeah, small kid is like that. Yeah, you must remember this moment. 10 years later again. Yeah, 10 years later your son will become like the rest of them. Yeah, very quiet. No more spontaneity. Spontaneity. Yeah, no longer spontaneous. Yeah, why? Because we have been verbally slapped too many times. When we are young, when we think of something, yay! Yeah, we are so excited, we share. And then at some point, when we share, then people give us a look. Yeah. Then in school, our teacher may say something like, huh? Or our friends may laugh at us when we share something and get it wrong. Then we learn from that suffering. We learn, oh, better don't share. Yeah.
I'm not shy.
Yeah. Come back 10 years later. How will you see about that? But I like that. Yes. To learn Buddhism, we must not be shy. Yeah. If you are shy, not just Buddhism, you cannot learn anything. Yeah. Our parents always tell us, isn't it? Huh? When you go to school, don't be shy. Huh?
I'm not shy.
Yes. Not you. Yeah. Our parents will tell us, don't be shy, ask questions, must be like Alex. Yeah, don't be shy, ask. Yeah, but we also tell our kids, but when we come for Dharma class, shy. Yeah, so cannot be shy. So the Buddha gave this teaching for what purpose? Yeah, so Four Noble Truths, and then he didn't just teach the Four Noble Truths. From there, then the 12 dependent origination. So this is what we call 12缘起. And the top part, Four Noble Truths, is 四圣谛. Roughly. Yeah. This is the 中医师 the yeah, nobody can understand what they write. No. I write properly. 中医师 is that. Oh, just kidding. Okay, so why did he teach all this? Yeah. Why did he share? Why did he teach? It was to serve a purpose. Yeah. So the teachings is not an end by itself. Yeah. It's not a self-serving teaching. It serves the purpose to bring sentient beings, bring about awakening, so that it leads to cessation of suffering. But why did the Buddha want to do that? Yeah. So this is the how. Yeah. The teaching is the how, and this is the why. The reason for or rather the end goal. But why do this? Yeah. The Buddha did this out of compassion. And so part of his teaching, I correct myself. There are some masters who say that the whole of the Buddha's teaching is about compassion. Yeah, because when he teaches the way to end suffering, it is about compassion. When he teaches how to live this life fruitfully, it's out of compassion that he teaches. Yeah? When he teaches people how to have a happier rebirth, it is again out of compassion. Yeah? In fact, in this process, then we bring in other practices which directly or indirectly is about compassion. Yeah? Then from this teaching, yeah, and this observation comes the teaching of karma, rebirth, and from the teaching of rebirth comes the 6 realms, the 3 spheres, the 5 destinations. Yeah, 5, the 6 realms. Can you all read my handwriting? After you all learn how to read my handwriting, you may have difficulty reading other people's handwriting. So, is that what Buddhism is? This is what we call the Dharma. Yeah, the Dharma. But in the process of teaching this, there are certain aspects about this world that prevents us from acting in the right way, because we can't seem to accept things, how things are going. And remember earlier I mentioned about kids, yeah, being like reality. Doesn't care how you think or how you feel, it's going to continue doing what it's doing. Yeah. And so there are 3 aspects about reality that the Buddha observed, which is that in all these realms, our existence have certain features known as the 3 universal characteristics. And what are they? Anicca, dukkha, and anatta. Are you all familiar? Familiar, huh? Yeah, this is something that should be very common in Myanmar. Yeah. So the first is impermanence. Alex, the second one, what is it? Mommy, don't tell him. Huh? Problem. Oh, are you playing with Optimus Prime? Can you show me? Yeah. Bring over lah. You see?
Yes.
Oh, you can go back now. Oh, yours is the type that cannot transform one, Can transform one or not?
Can transform as transform.
But yours is the not so good type, leh.
Last time I buy.
You bought it last time?
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm here to tell you the type that you bought is not the very good type. Yeah, because the legs cannot bend. The good one, this part can bend. Yeah. Do you know? You know the difference? I transform, you don't transform. If I can transform, will you give it to me?
I can transform.
No, if I can transform, not you. Of course you can transform. But if I can transform, will you give it to me?
No.
Why not? Why?
Because I got 3 Optimus Primes.
Because you have 3 Optimus Prime. Why are you so selfish?
I'm not so selfish.
Yeah, you have 3. Why can't you just give one to me?
1.
Huh?
One to you.
Yeah, I mean I have 3. I'm not asking for all 3.
All 3.
Yeah, you have 3, right?
2 outside Optimus Prime and 1 inside.
1 outside and 3 inside. What do you mean?
No, 2 outside. 2 outside. 2 outside and 1 inside.
1 by 2 outside, 1 inside. What does it mean?
It means the transformer is inside the computer.
Inside the computers. Oh, see, the legs, the
It's
good.
together.
Yeah, but the good ones, this part can fold down.
For now.
Because the container truck is supposed to sit over here, but with this up here, you can't. So this is not.
It's just the legs.
This is Optimus Prime.
Without a trailer.
Yeah, without the trailer. So when you play, do you do like Autobots transform and roll out? You,
No.
you don't do that.
I just play quiet and gentle.
How do you feel if I confiscate this?
Confiscate.
That means I take this back. You don't play with this anymore. How do you feel?
I feel really sad.
That is dukkha. Next week, Mommy, I don't want to come anymore. This shift want to take my toy. Yeah. It's a matter of time. You have to face suffering. So like, I'm just giving it to you now. Do you like your transformer? Who buy for you? Oh, so when Mommy buy it for you, do you love Mommy? If Mommy don't buy for you, do you still love her? Huh? A bit of hesitation there. So if Mommy let you play with it, do you love Mommy? If Mommy don't let you play, do you still love her? No. So this is called conditional love. Yeah, your love for Mommy is conditional. Yeah. So don't buy things for your kids. Yeah, kids are so fun when it's not yours. Yeah. So the last one is anatta, no self. No self, or not self, or non-self, whichever version you like. Yeah. So these are the 3 universal characteristics, and together we can say that this is none other than sunyata, emptiness. Yeah, so this is sunyata. And if you can realize this, do you notice that when I was using the visualizer, my handwriting wasn't so bad? When you can realize this or see it, yeah, see things as they are, then this leads to dispassion. This leads to dispassion, this leads to revulsion, this leads to renunciation, and ultimately to liberation. So all this is part of Dharma. Yeah, all this is part of Dharma. But when you talk about Buddhism, it's more than that. Because Buddhism then includes the so-called religion that came about. Yeah. So we can say that there's the Dharma part, yeah, that this whole chunk here, yeah, the Dharma, and then there is the history, development, the culture, etc. Yeah, all these things together. Yeah, so this whole chunk together, then we say this is Buddhism. Any questions? Yes, Stephen.
Wondering, when you say no self, what does that mean?
What does that mean? So, not so much I say lah, Buddha say. Yeah, or the Buddha observe. When we say no self, yes, Alicia? Yes, Alicia? Yeah. See, yeah. So another reality over there. So no self, simply put, the notion of something permanent within us that we call or we think is the essence of who we are, such an essence don't exist. Something that is permanent, unchanging, that is autonomous, yeah, that is totally having absolute control, yeah, such a thing don't exist. But the temporal, conditional, you and me, that exists.
But isn't it the same as impermanence?
Well, good point. In fact, when we first learn, we learn it as three different things. But as we learn the teachings, we realize that the three are intertwined. They are actually not three different things. There are three aspects that is the same thing. The anicca itself is not simply about impermanence, but it's about how things change not according to our whims and fancy. Things change not because of the self. Things change because of conditions. Yeah. And that is actually pointing towards no self. Yes. No self, precisely because it's no self, that's why it is impermanent as well. Yeah, that's why it's anicca. Any questions? Any other questions? Yeah. So remember earlier, I asked you all, are you is there anything that is making you upset at this moment? And there was none. Now, I want you to remember this very moment, or that moment. And at any point in time in the coming week, if there's something that upset you, I want you to then examine that moment. The moment you're upset, that moment. Examine again. Is there anything letting you upset? Getting you upset? I don't say that there's nothing, but it's up to you to go and examine that moment. That moment you say, I'm upset, that moment. Is there anything to upset you? Ricky, Ricky, right? Is it Ricky? Your name? You have a question, right?
Actually, referring to just now when you say you asked the question, why did the Buddha teach and all this? I was thinking, remember about the four divine sight,
Yes.
divine messenger. He saw the four sight. He had various places.
Yes.
That's how he began to ask the reason why.
Yes, that's what I shared in other classes as well. Yeah, but tell what are the four divine sights that he saw?
He saw the sick man, the old man,
Uh-huh.
and somebody passed away.
Yes.
Corpse, and the holy man.
Ah.
So he saw these four sights.
Yes.
And he began to ask why a human being went from a baby to and died. So he wants to have a question, and how he saw the holy person is so happy and serene. So he wants to find the reason that most people go through this cycle. How to get out of this cycle of birth and death.
Yes. So the first three sights, aging, sickness, and death, of suffering, yeah. And that itself is linked to one, revulsion, yeah. Because when he saw these first three sights, it kindled revulsion towards his present life. Because at that point in time, he was still a prince. He was, every night party, every day party, yeah. I mean, you can imagine. Depending on which version you watch, sometimes the movie about the life of the Buddha, yeah, then they show the, court ladies, But you can imagine, yeah, how it's like to be a prince, how much enjoyment they will go through. So when he saw the three sights, the first three sights, it brought about a new angle to look at his present life, yeah, revulsion towards it. But even more importantly, in his conversation with Chanda, he also then realized that this happened not just to himself, yeah, aging, sickness, and death, but also to people around him. Yeah, and so it is out of compassion, yeah, not simply out of revulsion, because if it was simply out of revulsion, then it was just to discover for himself. Yeah, but in a way, he left the palace to find a solution for himself and everybody else. Yeah, so the everybody else part would be linked to compassion. Linked to compassion. So back to the point, yeah. So think about it. Anytime when we feel like, oh, I'm not happy or I'm bored or something, yeah, ask yourself at that very moment, is there anything that is seriously, yeah, upsetting us at that moment? Think about the last time you're upset. I don't know about you, but it's usually about what has happened in the past, more often than not. Yeah, but don't take my word for it, because the important thing is to go and examine yourself. Then you know. And only when you examine again and again and again, then you will be convinced. Otherwise, it's just Sifu talking, yeah. Likewise, if you're going to examine, our fear is usually about the future. Yeah. If something bad happened in the past, it's already happened. Even if we are afraid due to that, it's about how we are afraid that it can happen again. It's almost always about the future. Yeah. Anxiety about the future. If it has happened, it has happened already. Yeah. So go and examine, but not suggesting to deny or to dismiss how we feel, but to go and examine what is really happening. Is there anything at that moment that is really troubling? Like when you are in the office and your boss is going wah, 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 yeah, go and examine at that moment. Yeah, each syllable that your boss say in his words, the sound. But I must forewarn you, if you do it right, you may not be able to respond to your boss, and your boss may get even more upset. Okay, I had intended to keep today's session, this kind of 401 advanced primer, really short and sweet, supposed to be like 15 minutes. In the end, almost 1 hour. Alex, all your fault. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. So you have 3 other transformers. You have 3 other Optimus Prime. Huh? What? One is broken. Do you break it? Huh? Louder, I can't hear you. Oh, when you were young, you broke it. So now, is it still with you?
Yeah, it's still.
Oh, so you broke it, so now you cannot play with it.
I can still play with it.
So when you play with Optimus Prime and then you fight with Megatron, and then you want to play, and then Optimus Prime lose, then you take out the broken one and say, I'm broken. Is it? Anyway, okay. Any questions? The newcomer. What's your name again? Huh? Singing. Can.
Not much question at this moment. I think I half understand.
Half understand.
Yeah.
Which half don't understand? Is this the Buddhism you did you know anything about Buddhism before you come here?
Not too much.
Okay. Is this similar to the Buddhism you heard about?
I think this is quite similar as what I heard before from the books.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, read the books. Yeah, like the way you learn the history at the secondary school, high school.
Oh.
It's more or less the same.
Oh, in high school, secondary school, you learn about Buddhism.
A bit ugly.
Oh, that's interesting.
History.
History.
Yeah.
Oh. Part of Indian history.
I think part of the Chinese history, from Tang or Song dynasty.
Mm.
Yeah. It was Song Yuan.
Tang Song Yuan Ming Qing.
You have very good knowledge.
Oh, no. That's all I know. I only know the terms. Don't ask me anymore. Amitabha. How about Alex Mami? What's your name again? KK. Any question?
I would like to see the
The bottom part. Okay. The formula? You like the formula? No?
I know the formula.
You don't like formula? You don't like formula?
Any further down?
You don't like? You don't like?
Because just now the Shifu writing is 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. 6 realms, 3 spheres.
3 spheres mean this anexa, dukkha, anatta.
No. The 3 spheres, thanks for asking. The three spheres are the sensual, desire sphere, then form and formless. So this is the rupa, this is the kama loka, this is the rupa loka, and this is the arupa loka.
Because a little bit the pronoun stance is a little bit different in my
Yeah.
country, the Buddhism.
Yeah, yes.
That's why I would like to.
Yeah, because from what I know in Myanmar, although it's also Pali,
Yeah.
but the way some words are pronounced is a bit different. Yeah.
Myanmar tongues.
Yeah.
A little bit the slums is Myanmar.
So kama rupa loka, rupa loka.
Karma, rupa means the body or feature.
Rupa is physical.
Physical.
Then
Arupa is a non-physical.
yes, yeah. So form, formless, sensual desire.
How about the 6?
The 6 realms.
Yeah, 6
So this is the heavenly, heaven, asura, human, animal, ghost, and hell. The 5 destination is similar to the 6. So the difference is for 5 there's no asura. So heaven, human, then ghost, animal, and hell. In the Nikayas, are you familiar with the Nikaya?
Nikaya, yes.
Nikaya. So in the Nikaya, you see this one more often. Okay. So I go back to the one you like. This one. This one you like? Your favorite? No? You don't like?
I don't know formula.
You don't like formula? Oh, good. Then I will show you more formula. Alex, you like formula? Do you know what is formula?
Secret formula.
Secret formula. Oh, yeah. You don't have to you don't have to learn the formula. You just have to learn the truth. Okay. If there's no other questions, today is a brief primer. Yeah. So primer usually is just, covering the terms. Yeah. We don't go into the full details as well. The purpose of today's session is actually special, yeah, and also sometimes I've mentioned this many times, but sometimes when we encounter someone who is new to Buddhism, what do we tell them? This is probably the way I shared today may not be what people need. May not be what people need. Because this is just listing down all the teachings in a certain sequence. Yeah. So sometimes when I sit down with people, I just chat with them. Yeah. Yeah. If you ever encounter someone and they ask you about Buddhism, start with them. Yeah. Ask about them. Talk to them. Yeah. Don't be so eager to share with them the Dharma. Because the Dharma must serve a purpose. And in the case of when the Buddha teach, it was to help people end suffering. Yeah. So if they have something that they want to solve, then start from there. Okay? Put our palms together. Yuan消三障诸烦恼，愿得智慧真明了，普愿罪障悉消除，世世常行菩萨道。阿弥陀佛，起立。